Yo guys, and I hope you're having a really awesome day, because my day's going not too bad. I'm a little bit tired, but it's good. Back to the vlogs. Right now I am up in London, kind of near Lewisham. I'm not actually sure what this area is called. This could be Lewisham, but I'm not 100% sure on that. All I know is I've got to go to Newgate Station or something and get a train from there to Old Street, because that's where Rich Mix is, and Rich Mix is the place I've been to a few times before, and you've seen that in a few other videos. And what we've got there today is there's like an expo or like release or something to do with that, all to do with a computer software called Houdini. And for those of you that don't know what Houdini is, it's a really amazing piece of software that you can do lots of like animation based stuff and visual effects, and just about every film that you've ever seen that has visual effects, those effects have probably been created within Houdini. So that's really awesome. I've never actually used that software, but I've used another software that's made by the same guy who invented that, and that's called Touch Designer. I think I've mentioned that to you guys before. But they're both made by the same guy, so they're quite similar but used for two different sorts of things. So yeah, I think without further ado, I'll see you when we get there. So I've already had my first dilemma. I got on the wrong train. I was meant to get on the overground train that took me like 7 stops all the way to Shoreditch High Street, but I didn't. I got on one that was like a late one, which I didn't realise that went to London Bridge, so I'm at London Bridge, and I got to look for the underground station, which I'm not sure, maybe, I think there's a signpost saying it was this way, so we'll get there eventually. So I've got to go this way, I've got to get on the Northern line, which is the black line, and then it's like 3 stops to Old Street, which is in Shoreditch. So luckily I left with plenty of time to spare, so we're going to get there with ages, so maybe we'll get something to eat, and yeah, it'll be good. We'll see you in a bit. So I didn't realise that station was right underneath the Shard, which is pretty epic. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it may have cost me a little bit more to get here, but it doesn't matter. It's quite cool. So nearly there. So I'm finally here in Shoreditch. I'm probably about an hour before I said I was going to meet Pete, the guy that I'm meeting to go to the event. So I think I'm going to go and get something to eat. Just coming up on a place called, I think it's Itsu. It's ITSU. I've been here before. It's actually really yummy. It's like noodles and soupy kind of things. So I'm going to head in here and have something to eat. Really good.
The edge doesn't line up to the edges on either side, but now with the new match profile tool, you can see we can actually make the edge loop match the closest edge, so you get a perfectly parallel edge to what you're doing, as well as doing multiple poly splits at once. And then just for fun, just to show how the modeling works with both our radial menus and some of the new right-click menus, you can very quickly take a poly split, extrude it, and bevel it. So again, just bridging the idea of placing nodes with working in the viewport. But sort of the 800-pound gorilla in the room is Boolean. And so Boolean is a complete rewrite of a Boolean tool. It's not cookie, it doesn't use cookie at all. It's a brand new tool. And so it does, what you would kind of expect. Union, subtract, intersect. You can see that we're correctly interpolating vertex attributes so that if you have a material or UVs on one object, you can Boolean them together and preserve all of that information, which is very important. And Shatter basically allows you to take arbitrary cutting objects, in this case a grid, and use it to break up geometry into these slices, creating interior faces. And this is going to become sort of the basis of a destruction workflow. In almost an absurd number of cutting objects intersecting with each other all at once. So I just want to stress that this isn't sort of a looping operation. We're not cutting these things one at a time. This happens all at once in one cook. And let's just take a look at the result of this cutting. And so you can see here that we can manage this cutting no problem. And the interesting thing about this is that it gives you the ability now to completely arc direct a shatter, right? Instead of having to sort of work with tools that are really great, things like Voronoi Shatter, which are great tools. But a lot of times when you want to have a very specific look, you have to fight with the tool to get it. But now we're able to take this geometry, cut it up more or less arbitrarily and get these very precise, accurate scenes.
Paint attributes on the skin very easily to define where everything happens. And then, of course, as you would expect, everything is live and procedural, and you can jump back and change parameters, and then those only take effect where you painted. So it's very easy to dial everything in and get a very specific look out of that quickly. And then jumping over to hair generation. You'll see it's exactly the same workflow, so I'm jumping over there. There are great architectural improvements in SOPs that make it possible to deal with this number of hairs very quickly. And we've got powerful tools there like the hair clump SOP that give you very natural results much more quickly than before. So you can concentrate more on getting the specific look that you're looking for rather than getting something that just looks good at all. And here we're just adding some frizz and some final layering. You can get something quite good looking very fast, and it's exactly the same set of tools.
Macro scale effects where you zoom in on the single droplet to get this classic sort of crown splash effect that you see here. And this really opens up our fluid simulation tools for things that we weren't actually used that much for, these hyper close sort of product shots, commercial shots. So here's the network, here's some ocean playing in the background. And essentially what we used to do is let you bake out these animations, and then you could have a shader that mixed the various textures together to create a result. Here we have a Houdini generated landscape inside of Unreal. So the important aspect here is that all of the data that we're creating can be exported in a very game engine friendly way. We can also have tools for breaking it up into tiles, so you can work on enormous terrains, slice them up into smaller tiles and work on each one individually.
Yo guys, so that was absolutely awesome. It's absolutely chucking it down, so I haven't been able to vlog on my way to here, but I actually got on the right train for once, and we're just leaving. So as you can see from some of the stuff you've just seen, absolutely epic. Even got myself a free t-shirt that's got Houdini 16 on it. The possibilities of that thing is just absolutely epic. I definitely got to like experiment using that and just see what I can create really, but it does cost quite a lot of money to be able to buy the licensing for that. So who knows what the future holds, but oh my days, absolutely blew me away. I'm so impressed with it, and it's quite cool how I could really see the similarities between that and Touch Designer. I'll put in the description below the link to the full video that they've made of what you've just seen, so you can see more than just the clips that I show you. But some of that stuff is just mind-blowing. I definitely feel like I'm in the right career and the right sort of career path, because that stuff's just awesome, pure awesome. So I think I'm going to end today's video on there, guys, because like I said, it is raining outside, and I don't know what else to say. I think the things I've showed you and the stuff in that link below speaks for itself. It's absolutely epic. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.